Session is being recorded. And you can also enable captions or the live transcript if you need by clicking the closed captioning buttons. Lastly, we encourage questions and dialogue in the chat. And with that, I'm thrilled to introduce our presenter, Dr. Yolanda Harper, on speaking about a very important topic, preparing students to thrive in anti-DEI climates. Thank you, Dr. Yolanda.
Thank you. See. So welcome again, everyone, and we are delighted to have you here. I'm excited to be with you all. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat in any way you'd like, and answer the question: what challenges are your students and alumni facing due to heightened anti-DEIA plus legislation, sentiments, and actions? Well, we are living in fun times, aren't we? Now, we all know that the current DEI climate in higher education do vary significantly across institutions. So that's why I want to hear from everyone here today. And even within the same institution, they vary across departments and across individuals. And before going further, I do have to give a shout out to Peralta Community College for being unwavering in offering this equity conference. So shout out to Peralta. Now, for those of us who have been in higher education a while, we have seen the ebb and flow of many, many waves, triumphs and challenges, suspended animations, and particularly when it comes to diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, and other related initiatives as well. Now, today we're going to share what we have learned and are continuing to learn during the current wave in order to prepare our students to thrive. So to begin, let's get an idea of the range of contexts that are represented here today. And I've prepared a poll that you can access by scanning the QR code or going to slido.com and entering the code 2149087. And you can scan it on the next page as well. So these are the questions, and let's just see, and I'll have to scroll so that you can see them all, but let's just go ahead and see what people are saying. So the first one, my institution has been unwavering in affirming DEI initiatives, and basically came out and said, look, our initiatives do not fall under the purview of any illegal programs. And so the executive order has had no impact on us. Others might say, well, early on, my institutions just started cutting things, even before it was determined what was quote unquote illegal and not illegal. What we call anticipatory obedience, even before the final words were out. Others might say, well, my institution hasn't changed things in terms of substance, but we've renamed and rebranded a lot of what we're doing. Others might say, well, initially my institution reacted and began canceling programs or trainings. And then things have kind of settled down now, and we're kind of returning to business as usual, more or less. Or my institution just said, we'll wait and see. And we've made no significant changes at all. Okay, so far I see, and yes, you can choose more than one. Okay, great. Give a few more seconds for anyone else who wants to weigh in. Fantastic. Okay. 5 more seconds. So the first two are close together. A few reacted and now are kind of returning back to normal or near normal. some rebranding. Fantastic. Thank you so much for participating. Now, let's get a sense of how much we think our students have been negatively impacted by anti-DEI and related actions. And so for this one, we're going to play a little differently. We're going to play with some of the reactions in Zoom. And so if you would go to the bottom of your screen and click the react arrow and then select an image to send an effect to answer this question. So a heart if students pretty much have not been impacted at all. Slightly negative impacts, we'll do the balloon. Thumbs up, moderately negative impact. Very negative impact for the confetti. Extremely negative impact, the rocket, or I'm not sure, we'll use the emoji, laughing emoji. So I saw a little confetti come up. Some thumbs up. Okay, that's another confetti. Okay, so all right. Fantastic. Well, thanks. And you can certainly continue to share. And feel free to elaborate more in the chat if you'd like to, because in reality, the impacts will vary across institutions and individuals. Examples of impacts I've seen is some instructors engaging in anticipatory obedience and removing all DEIA language from their courses, while others have not removed language at all, and still others not only continue to address DEI topics in their courses, but they've also engaged students in discussions around the executive orders and how different organizations, corporations, and state entities have responded. Likewise, with programming, I've talked with some colleagues who have had programs cut from underneath them and others who have been able to continue as usual. So regardless of how our institutions have responded, our focus remains on student success. And we will work together, all of us, we work with our colleagues across departments to prepare our students to be able to thrive in challenging times. Okay, so this one we'll play with. What does it mean to thrive? We throw that term around. It sounds good, feels good. But back to our Slido page. In your own words, what does thriving mean from your perspective? And we'll create this word cloud together. So if you would return to Slido and just tell us in a word or two what or a short, brief phrase, what thriving means to you. Love. Care, representation, belonging. Oh, obstacle-free success. Living to full potential without fear, rapport. Awesome. Oh, bravery, liberation, support. Mm-hmm. Understanding. Let me see this. Did another one pop up? Okay, all right. A few more typing looks like. Honesty, positive growth. A lot of love and care. Let's see. Empathy. Transparency. Some of them pop up quickly and I didn't quite catch them. So I hope, looks like someone else is typing. Support. Yes. Hope. Yes, absolutely. Thank you all for participating. Other money, yep, absolutely. If you look online, that certainly helps. And survival tools. So a lot of this is what we're going to touch on. Plus, you all have gone above and beyond. That's why I love to hear from the participants as well. I also think of flourishing when I think of thriving, blooming, growing, and understanding that we don't all grow at the same rates or in the same ways, but helping our students to progress towards or realize some goals despite of or because of the circumstances. For me, thriving and wellness are interconnected as well. And wellness is multifaceted. There's not just one prong or one spoke in this particular wheel. Some components obviously are easier than others for us to influence in our roles in higher education. Some we influence more overtly and directly, others maybe more indirectly through referrals or through modeling. But, and this is not an exhaustive list. We could expand the wheel to as many, many more spokes. Now, keeping in mind our own conceptualizations of thriving, which we've shared, let's turn to examine some of the potential challenges facing students and alumni in the context of contemporary anti-DEIA climates. And while the ending radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing executive order is separate from the protecting the American people against invasion executive order, I would be remiss if not to mention that some of our students are indeed even more fearful than ever of being deported or losing loved ones to deportation. And these are just a few challenges that I've listed to get us started. Please also continue to add challenges you've seen, heard, or read about or experienced in the chat. And, along with the increased experiences with overt prejudicial remarks and microaggressions, code words, as you know, are used that identify individuals or context as not being DEIA friendly. A colleague of mine who lives in another state told me that his department said in a meeting that the days of political correctness are over. And while meritocracy is not inherently anti-DEIA in all contexts, it is not uncommon to hear it used in the same sentence as other anti-DEI rhetoric. In his book, an audio titled The 10 Lenses, Mark Williams describes 11 viewpoints related to diversity, with the meritocratist perspective being one of the 11. So let's listen to how Williams conceptualizes the meritocratist viewpoint.
You got to work hard to pay your dues. What you get in life is up to you. The meritocratist really believes that regardless of any difference, race, nationality, gender, physical ability, if you want it, you get it. You work hard for it. And the meritocratist can point to anybody across any group that has succeeded. It's a belief system that is firmly rooted in the ability, skill, and the competence of the individual. And in the end, that's what matters around a person succeeding.
I'm no expert on life, but it seems to me that some people don't do well because they don't try. If they worked harder, they would do as well as anyone else. The great thing about this country, as the cream rises to the top, it's all about things like competence and discipline. Those are the keys to achievement. My parents taught me that accepting personal responsibility is the single most empowering attribute that a person can have.
Make the grade, make the grade. than the other guy. You need discipline and drive. Your limitations only in your mind. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Don't listen to whiners who complain. Who complain? Who complain? They don't want to work to win the game. Win the game. Win the game. Those who want victory handed to them. Handed to them. Handed to them. Will be empty-handed in the end. In the end. In the end. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Regardless of your race or creed, set your sights on the highest spot. 'Cause in America, the cream always rises to the top. To the top. You gotta work hard to pay your dues. Pay your dues. Pay your dues. How far you go in life is up to you. Up to you. Up to you. You gotta work hard to get to the top. Get to the top. Get to the top. When you do, you can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. You gotta work hard to pay your dues. Pay your dues. Pay your dues. How far you go in life is up to you. Up to you. Up to you. 'Cause in America, the cream always rises to the top.
Now, if taken at face value, if everyone started out on the same level playing field, and if implemented fairly without biases or favoritism in networks, etc., then theoretically, this perspective may work for a lot of people. However, those of us that here understand that there are a lot of ifs in that statement. And we know that not everybody started out on the same level playing field. So how are we going to prepare students for success in these challenging environments? Now, I'm sure everyone in our session today can contribute helpful solutions here. And so I invite you to start sharing and continue to share in the chat. There's no particular limitation to the list of ways that we can do. I'd like to start with building resilience. Others may start with other strategies, but building resilience is number one on the list because I believe it creates a foundation for thriving across environments and various life circumstances. Managing biases, of course, and assumptions of faculty, staff, students, and employers. So all of these career relevant knowledge and skills and are important components to helping our students be successful and helping our students thrive. Here, there are a lot of images. Here's just one. A lot of images and models of resilience. But since I started with that one and the one I'm going to focus on primarily, I want to share a few different ones because I want, again, just like we did with the word cloud, I want you to expand beyond any of these images and these components as I've done. So I'll share a few different ones and invite you to take note of which components, which models, which images resonate for you, how you might modify each for different individuals or circumstances. This model, as you see, identifies 10 facets from the ability to calm and emotional self-regulation and self-care and exercise, all the way to social support, including being creative, learned optimism, acceptance and non-judgmental attitudes towards the self, giving ourselves some of that self-love that people put about in the word cloud earlier. Hope, we heard that earlier, or saw that as well. Hardiness, the sense of coherence. In this particular image, we see flexibility and planning, ability to withstand shock, hardiness again, which is basically hardiness again. Adapting to change, persistence in pursuit of goals, ability to anticipate risks, and have alternative routes and strategies, not just one plan, but plans A, B, C, D, E, F, etc. Protecting vulnerabilities in healthy ways. And I'd add the ability to remain centered and at peace in the midst of ambiguity is important. This image, I started with one and added some additional components around the edge. I think I saw something in our word cloud related to growth as well. So again, what are key components that come to your mind when you think of resilience? Now, when it comes to providing students with the support services that we will teach them skills to cope with life challenges in order to thrive. And there are many approaches. I will mention one in particular, which began in the late 70s with Dr. Marsha Linehan, who developed it as a therapeutic approach for treating symptoms associated with a severe mental health disorder, dialectical behavior therapy, which consists of 4 components: mindfulness, emotional regulation, distress tolerance, and interpersonal effectiveness. Now, since its inception, DBT has become an evidence-based treatment for many different types of challenges, and individuals who may not have a mental health diagnosis at all have found the training helpful in building their life and personal self-management and resilience skills. In fact, now DBT skills are being proactively taught to elementary age children, again, to start developing that resilience early on. And there are a number of free and paid resources online for learning DBT skills. And of course, for individuals with more severe emotional or behavioral concerns, it's highly recommended that they work with a licensed and trained professional, at least initially, to get them started. But as you look at the 4 skill sets that DBT teaches, it's evident how strengthening skills in these areas can be particularly beneficial in challenging times. Other skill sets we often help students develop that are particularly valuable during challenging times include the emotional intelligence skills and the growth mindset skills. And of course, the ability to embrace change is invaluable in coping with life's challenges in any particular context. In addition to resilience skills, we know that academic and career success require a mastery of a variety of competencies. And now more than ever, anything we can do to help our students master career-relevant competencies will better equip them to thrive continuously and improve. And I'm sure many here are familiar with the 8 career competencies framework as defined by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, NACE. These do not represent every competency that exists, and some professions will have additional ones that are more specific. However, these 8 core competency skills and their associated behaviors were identified by surveying employers to identify key competencies valued in college graduates. And you see them listed here. Of course, professionalism includes personal and professional presence, ethics and accountability. Technology now includes the ethical and effective use of artificial intelligence. And integrating and developing the knowledge and skills employers need students to learn is essential to being able to thrive in these times. So again, please share in the chat, what are you doing to develop students' competencies in these areas or other relevant areas? Now, let's talk about some strategies for developing. Of course, there are assessments, and NACE has some self-assessments on their website, networking, professional organizations, and encouraging students to join at the student level and start presenting and meeting people, integrating competency development in the curriculum and co-curriculum, and believe it or not, test taking, because a lot of employers now are not just accepting that a student has knowledge because they have a degree, but are engaging in pre-employment screenings of even basic skills to verify that the students have mastered them to the level that the employers need, and also to screen out potential employers. Now, in terms of integrating competency development in the curriculum, here are just a few examples from courses I've developed in which I've gone beyond having students submit resumes and cover letters in the class and actually integrate some skill building assignments. And every week, students work with practical career relevant scenarios. Some I create and some they create based on their career goals. I won't read all of these to you, but I will highlight this one package kind of in the center here. Beginning in week 1, students write a personal mission statement and share about at least one career relevant passion. By week 4, this is in a capstone course, they share a 5-minute mini TEDx style talk in the discussion forum and ask each other questions, give each other feedback. By week 5, they create a career passion project communication plan with the components you see listed here. And again, just please continue to share. Okay. Now, in terms of promoting the mental and physical wellness in online environments, I post announcements with eye yoga exercises, hand wrist exercises, and other wellness techniques. Of course, because I know they spend a lot of time online and have very busy schedules. And of course, I always include the standard disclaimers that this information is for educational purposes and that they should not use it as a substitute for professional health care. So that's just one example. Now this 5-minute video here sums up a number of strategies for regulating emotions in healthy ways.
You know, it's a shame schools don't teach us how to handle our emotions. Imagine if we learned how to manage stress or cope with sadness alongside math and science. Life might be a lot smoother, right? But it's never too late to learn. Mastering emotional regulation can transform our daily lives and relationships. Here are some simple yet powerful strategies for regulating your emotions. Let's give ourselves the emotional education we never got. Number 1, recognize your emotions. You'd be surprised how many people have no idea what they're actually feeling. Some folks only know they feel good or bad, but struggle to identify and label their emotions more specifically. Did you know we have over 27 distinct emotions? Being able to identify whether you're feeling anxious, excited, frustrated, or hopeful is the first step in regulating those emotions. Start by paying attention to your body's signals and your thoughts. Keep an emotional journal, or use an app to track your feelings throughout the day. This awareness is key to understanding and eventually managing your emotional responses. Embrace awareness. Healthy emotional regulation begins with self-awareness. It involves acknowledging and accepting one's emotions without judgment. Now that we've identified and labeled what we're feeling, instead of suppressing and denying feelings or trying to get rid of them, individuals recognize their emotional state and allow themselves to experience it fully. Research suggests that practicing mindfulness and meditation can enhance awareness of emotions, promote acceptance, and reduce emotional reactivity. Take a moment to check in with yourself from time to time. Recognize and accept your emotions without judgment. Awareness is the first step towards healthy emotional regulation. Flip the script. One powerful strategy for regulating emotions is cognitive reappraisal, which involves reframing the way we perceive a situation. By consciously altering our interpretation of events, we can change our emotional response. For example, viewing a setback as an opportunity for growth rather than a failure. This can mitigate feelings of disappointment and frustration. Studies have shown that cognitive reappraisal can lead to decreased levels of stress and anxiety, fostering greater emotional resilience. Reframe negative thoughts. Look at challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. Changing your perspective can change your emotional response. Express yourself. Healthy emotional regulation involves finding constructive outlets for expressing emotions, whether through art, writing, or talking to a trusted friend. Expressing feelings can alleviate emotional distress and facilitate processing. Bottling up emotions can have detrimental effects on mental health, whereas expressive writing, in particular, has been linked to improvements in mood and well-being. Find healthy outlets for your emotions, whether it's journaling, talking to a friend, or engaging in creative activities. Expressing yourself can help release pent-up feelings and promote healing. Lean on others. Human connections play a crucial role in emotional regulation. Cultivating supportive relationships provides a buffer against stress and enhances emotional resilience. Sharing experiences with empathetic individuals can offer perspective and validation, helping to regulate emotions more effectively. Studies have shown that strong social support networks are associated with lower rates of depression and anxiety. Don't go it alone. Seek support from friends, family, or a therapist. Sharing your feelings with others can provide comfort and perspective. If you don't have anyone around you or don't feel comfortable sharing your emotions with someone, look at those creative outlets that allow you to express yourself. Journaling, dancing, or painting are great ways to express what you're feeling. Some people might find online communities or forums helpful. as they provide a sense of anonymity. Nourish your body. Physical well-being and emotional health are intertwined, and adopting healthy lifestyle habits can bolster emotional regulation. Regular exercise, adequate sleep, and a balanced diet contribute to overall emotional resilience. Exercise in particular stimulates the release of endorphins, neurotransmitters known as feel-good chemicals, which can improve mood and reduce stress. Likewise, prioritizing sleep and nutrition supports optimal brain function, enabling better emotional regulation. Remember, physical health and emotional well-being go hand in hand. Prioritize exercise, sleep, and nutrition to support your body and mind. Stress less. Stress is an inevitable part of life, but how we respond mentally or emotionally to it determines its impact on our well-being. Feeding negative self-talk or catastrophizing just causes more stress, probably more than the actual stressful event. Effective stress management techniques such as deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness-based stress reduction can help regulate the body's physiological response to stressors. Try activating your body's relaxation response through relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation to calm your mind and body in times of stress. Taking care of yourself helps you better handle life's challenges. Seek help when needed. Despite one's best efforts, there may be times when managing emotions feels too overwhelming. In such instances, seeking support from a mental health professional can be invaluable. Therapists can provide personalized strategies and interventions to help individuals navigate complex emotions and develop healthy coping mechanisms, whether through cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, or other modalities. Professional guidance can empower individuals to enhance their emotional regulation skills. There is no shame in asking for help. If you're struggling to manage your emotions, consider reaching out to a professional who can provide guidance and support. By incorporating these strategies into your daily life, you can take control of your emotions and create a more joyful and fulfilling existence. Remember, it's okay to feel, and it's okay to seek help when you need it. You deserve to live a life filled with peace, happiness, and emotional resilience.
Okay, so as you see, many of the tools we already use are equally relevant for thriving in today's reality. Let's look now at a couple of student scenarios and come up with some practical strategies to help these two students. So first we have Gabby, and I'd like for who is a 27-year-old single mom of two. She's staring blankly at her laptop screen. Another assignment deadline looms, but stressors from juggling childcare, coursework, 2 part-time jobs, and constant arguments with her boyfriend are leaving her feeling overwhelmed and emotionally drained. She often skips meals or grabs unhealthy snacks due to a lack of time and energy. Emotional outbursts are disrupting her focus, making it difficult for her to concentrate on her studies. And the pressure to succeed in college while managing her personal life feels like a crushing weight. Her instructor applies the maximum penalty for late assignments in order to motivate students to be the best so that they can succeed in the competitive real world. So take a few minutes and reflect on how you would assist Gabby, including some recommendations for her. Check my time here. Yeah, so let's take about 60 seconds and just jot some notes because we're going to share them together. You can share them in the chat, but also we're going to share them on the big screen. So 60 seconds, I'm setting the timer. Okay, So next, if you're in the middle of a thought, go ahead and finish your thought. Next, we have Michael. We're going to do the same thing with Michael. And Michael, 42 years old, slams his laptop shut. He's got a vein throbbing in his temple as he stares at the failing grade. The instructor's feedback, intended to be constructive, instead ignites a firestorm of anger, echoing the injustice of his wrongful arrest and the dehumanizing abuse he endured in jail. A faulty facial recognition software cost him his job, continues to haunt him, leaving him lingering PTSD that makes any perceived failure feel like a renewed attack on his worth. Even in the online environment, the failing grade triggers a deep-seated resentment and a feeling of being judged and punished unfairly once again. Focusing on his studies becomes a battle against his own turbulent emotions. And on top of everything else, the Affinity Club for African American Males he used to attend has been paused by administrators concerned that the programs might be illegal. All right, so again, take a minute or so, just kind of jot down what comes to your mind in terms of how we might assist Michael. So now, let's see here, back to Slido. Whatever comes to mind, how are we going to get Gabby and Michael from surviving to thriving? Due date flexibility. Personal care and attention, yes. Help facilitate connection with other classmates, yes. Yes, and if you could want to elaborate in the chat or back in the poll, what kind of resources you think might be useful, that would be fantastic. And keep typing. I see we're at about 5 minutes. But keep typing. And even if I move away from the this screen, please keep sharing your ideas in the chat. And Chelsea's going to help me with some seeing if there's anything I need to address in the chat. Access to, yes, food access, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I hate to leave the screen because people are still typing. This is such good stuff. Oh, I like that. Journal, oh yes. Well, and if you go to the Slido site, even if people keep typing, you should be able to see what people are typing. So as we get ready to wind down, just again, some reminders, things that I know everyone in the room already knows about the benefits of affirming inclusive learning environments. And while we're working to build all these competencies and skills and strengths and resilience, just continue to encourage ourselves to be creative and make learning fun. And our challenge is.
Here's your challenge. How many people in orange shirts get subs? Go. Seven people in orange shirts got subs. But what else did you see? Did you notice the ice cream truck change to a pizza truck? Did you notice the glasses? What about the man leaving the suspicious package next to the truck? Your next challenge, be aware of your surroundings.
So in the midst of everything that's going on, some of it's distraction, continuing to focus on what's important with our students and their success and our own health and wellness, and not be caught up in the distraction helps us remain aware and being persistent. And I think we're a little short on time for this, but this story is about chipping away at the rock to accomplish the goals. So kind of recapping some of the points here. Again, continue to share in this chat, if you would, at least one action you are taking or will take at the individual, small group, or system level. And I will leave you with this quote from Will Mankiller as my time is up. Thank you for being here. And these are references that we're doing. And I'll stop sharing so that I can see what's in the chat. Any closing words, Chelsea, while I'm reviewing the chat?
Just thank you so much for this informative presentation and all the ideas for us to help our students continue to succeed in this extremely stressful political landscape we're finding ourselves in now. We do have 2 more minutes. Do you want to open up to questions?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, would anybody like to?
Questions or comments? Because I know there's the combined wisdom of all of us here will help everyone. And thank you all for those who participated.
Oh, the Heather Hutchinson said, I would love to see the Wilma Mankiller quote.
Okay. Yeah, I was afraid I was running out of time. So, let me see if I can get to it quickly. Like we're not going backwards. There. I find her so inspirational, and I had the privilege of actually meeting her years ago in Oklahoma when I worked at the University of Tulsa.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Yolanda, for your talk. And thanks to all who showed up today. We're really grateful for your participation.
Yes.
And in the chat, I just put the link to the Equity Conference playlist. The recording to Dr. Yolanda's presentation will be there. We also, you can subscribe if you want to be able to see the other presentations. We have presence on social media, so you can find us there as well. And our next sessions will begin in 15 minutes. So everyone, take a break, come back, and thanks again.
Thank you all. And thank you for participating. And I'm catching up on the chat now. Great comments, great sharing. I appreciate everyone.
The Slido had a lot of great ideas too. I really loved that tool to solicit feedback.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, thank you so much, Chelsea. You were amazing. I appreciate all your help.
Thank you too. Thank you so much for being here today.
Have a great day, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the conference.
Yay. Okay, I'll see you in other sessions, I'm sure.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, see you later. Hi, Irina.
Hello, good to see you. Thank you so much for everything you're doing,
Oh, yeah.
and the whole team as well. This is great.
Thanks for being here. It's so nice to see
Nice
Peralta people.
nice to see you too.
Yeah.
And all the sessions are going to be recorded, right? Are there any sessions that are not going to be recorded, or they'll all be recorded?
They're all going to be recorded.
Oh, that's great. I'm so glad. I just wanted to say, I am so glad that you're doing this, like that, and that you're continuing this and not like, what is that called? Something in advance, like, you know, but I'm just really glad that continuing. I'm so glad.
The equity conference, you mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Of course. Okay, I'm gonna go off and be back in a few minutes.